Have you ever noticed how some days your mind feels foggy, like you're wading through molasses, while on other days you're sharp, focused, and unstoppable? Most of us blame ourselves for not thinking clearly or for being lazy, but the truth is, mental clarity isn't just about willpower. Sometimes the very habits we think are helping us can actually be silently sabotaging our ability to think clearly. Today, we're going to explore 3 daily habits that quietly kill your mental clarity, why they happen, and how you can reframe them to reclaim focus and calm. The first habit is overloading your mind with information. In today's world, we're constantly consuming content, scrolling through social media, checking the news, watching videos, or bouncing between notifications. It feels productive, but psychology shows that our brains have a limit to how much new information we can process at one time. Research indicates that cognitive overload reduces our ability to filter important information from distractions, making decision-making slower and more exhausting. For example, think about scrolling through your phone first thing in the morning. You might think it's just catching up, but by the time you sit down to plan your day, your mind is already saturated with irrelevant updates and opinions. Your brain hasn't had a chance to prioritize what truly matters. The empowering reframing here is realizing that this isn't a flaw. It's a sign that your brain is built to prioritize and filter. And by consciously limiting what you feed it, you're giving yourself the freedom to focus. Try starting your day with a single mindful task or a short period of reflection instead of diving into a flood of information. The second habit is multitasking while thinking. Many of us pride ourselves on doing 5 things at once, believing that it's a sign of productivity. Psychology research shows that what we call multitasking is often task switching, which can reduce cognitive efficiency by up to 40%. Each time we switch between tasks, our brain takes a moment to refocus, creating invisible mental friction that drains energy and clarity. Imagine trying to write an email while listening to a podcast and answering a message from a friend. It feels like you're getting everything done, but your brain is actually juggling multiple tasks and not fully completing any of them. The positive reframing is simple. Multitasking doesn't make you lazy or incapable. It shows that your brain thrives on novelty and engagement. The key is to channel that energy wisely. Focus fully on one task at a time and see how much sharper and faster your mind works when it's not constantly switching gears. The third habit is skipping mental breaks and rest periods. Many of us equate productivity with constant action, thinking that taking breaks is a waste of time. But research indicates that mental rest is crucial for clarity and creativity. Our brains consolidate memories, process emotions, and solve problems in the background, especially during periods of quiet or minimal stimulation. People who skip breaks often experience decision fatigue, poor memory recall, and slower problem solving. Consider someone who works for hours without a pause, chugging coffee to stay awake. By the afternoon, even simple tasks feel overwhelming. The empowering perspective here is to see rest not as laziness, but as a strategic investment in your cognitive abilities. Short, intentional breaks like a 5-minute walk, a few deep breaths, or even closing your eyes can reset your focus and make your mind far more effective than grinding nonstop. The fourth habit, which many of us underestimate, is neglecting emotional check-ins. Our mental clarity is deeply tied to our emotional state. Psychology shows that unprocessed emotions, stress, frustration, or lingering worries can clutter working memory and reduce cognitive flexibility. In other words, if you're anxious or emotionally drained, even the simplest decisions can feel overwhelming. Think about moments when a minor task like replying to an email suddenly feels impossible because you're carrying emotional weight from unrelated situations. The reframing here is that emotional awareness isn't indulgence, it's an essential tool for clarity. Simple practices like journaling, talking with a trusted friend, or briefly acknowledging your feelings can clear space in your mind for focus and rational thinking. Emotional awareness turns a potential mental block into a source of insight. Finally, a subtle but impactful habit is constantly postponing decisions. Research in psychology highlights that unresolved choices, even small ones, occupy cognitive bandwidth and contribute to mental fatigue. This is often called decision inertia. When you delay making decisions, your brain keeps running background processes, subconsciously weighing options, which drains clarity and energy. For instance, putting off choosing a task order, what to eat, or even small commitments may seem trivial, but these tiny deferred decisions accumulate into mental clutter. The empowering reframe is that hesitation isn't weakness, it's a natural protective mechanism of the brain. By creating simple routines, prioritizing decisions, or using decision templates, you can free mental space, allowing your mind to focus on the truly meaningful choices. So, what's the takeaway here? Mental clarity isn't a fixed trait. You're not doomed if your mind feels foggy at times. These habits aren't flaws, they're normal behaviors in the modern world, shaped by an environment that constantly demands attention, energy, and emotional bandwidth. Recognizing them gives you the power to gently adjust your daily routines, reclaim focus, and experience mental sharpness without judgment. Start small. Limit the information you consume in the morning. Focus on one task at a time. Schedule intentional breaks. Acknowledge your emotions. Make small decisions early instead of postponing them. These aren't radical life overhauls, they're gentle nudges that respect your brain's natural tendencies while boosting clarity. Remember, mental clarity isn't about being perfect or disciplined in an extreme sense. It's about understanding your brain, working with it, and honoring its needs. You are not lazy, scatterbrained, or weak. You're human, and your brain is designed to protect and prioritize you. Each insight you act on strengthens your focus and improves how you experience your life. If you found these insights valuable and you want more videos exploring the hidden truths about your mind, your behavior, and your personality, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Every week, we explore psychology-backed strategies to help you understand yourself better, think clearer, and live smarter. Take a moment now to reflect. Which of these habits shows up in your day? Which one will you adjust first? Remember, small, consistent changes create clarity that transforms your mental landscape more than endless willpower ever could. Your mind is capable of extraordinary focus, creativity, and calm. Treat it with awareness and patience, and watch how mental clarity becomes not just a fleeting state, but your daily reality.